back. We are off to check out our new job. So let's get right back into this. Just arrived at Pembroke Hospital. Looking to be the best blood doctor I could be. I'm not a vampire. No one knows I'm a vampire. For it's not true. Healthy, perfect. Don't have to do anything here.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. Mr. Hampton needs me right now.
Oh, that's right. I saved that dude last time. So that's real sensitive there, game. I'll deal with it now.
Come on, you bastard! You can do better than that! Nah! It's my turn!
Rotten or pressy, each heart contains the seed of life. Drink at
Bro, I
this
just
river.
witnessed a
Ride.
murder.
Master gave me a good smoke.
And you gave him like 6, dude. That's not cool. What?
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Yeah, you should be more polite.
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
Alright, sorry. I am in pain here. Me guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Almost slipped up there, buddy.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Why do you guys say it like that? That just sounds so creepy. Alright. Oh, yeah, sorry. Blood quality, experience. Yeah, that's fine. But look, I don't want to. As restrict the blood of your prey. I don't. How about no?
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
I mean, I would just bring him to the hospital. That's kind of where I'm going. I'll follow Fred Trail. Nature prayed for God. You better give me an option to back out of this game. Press to embrace, play clocks, or spacebar to release. I'm just gonna release.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
Don't you want to go to the hospital? You seem very chipper for somebody that's just deciding.
Whoa, I feel giddy.
I guess that's fair. I did just kind of tickle your mind for a bit. I guess that makes sense, but you did get stabbed. We should probably get you up to that hospital that you're 5 feet away from. You chose a good spot, but a really bad time. There's no way I can get you up.
Did I black out? What? What happened?
I mean, I guess not. I don't want to accidentally attack and hurt.
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go, but no famished hunter can run for long.
I don't know who the voice is in my head, and I'm not sure I like it. Look at the lady that's helping the dude.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide
She
you a
looked
quiet
directly at me.
office.
That was weird.
You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
Thanks, but I have a few questions.
I would like to ask a few questions first.
I mean, you just told me what.
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital,
Explaining it
left
like,
after the
really?
stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Okay. Thanks for telling me.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
I guess
It's
that's
right
fair.
to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Okay, well, but what if I've only just met him and I take back what I said?
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
You seem like you're a nice lady. No. How is...
And Mr.
the
Hampton,
drunk guy
the
returning
patient we
his
brought in,
relatives?
how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
Oh, you're about to find another dude in a state of shock. That guy that I told you is bleeding
Thank
out.
you,
We should
Nurse
probably
Crane.
cut this chit chat. There's a dude bleeding out under. Ma'am. He's this way. He's over there. Ma'am. That guy's gonna die. That's what's happening there. Do a little gentle exploration. Oh. Oh. Level 10 weapons. Excuse me.
It's locked.
Well, that's just a higher level that I need to be worried about, right? What happened here? There's so much death. Yeah, you're level 10. I don't need to be here. What? What did I... Oh. Oh, it's pneumonia. That's cool. Does that mean that everything in here is also...
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
What level are they? I'm not equipped for this. I just got here. I have no health and no blood and bad combat skills. My skull brethren are level 6. It's just one. Playing this That's 2 of them. I would rather not. I wanna go in the trash can. I don't feel like fighting 2. stuff? Was there stuff? There was no stuff. Let's go this way. Let's do some rounds. Oh. Well, this isn't where I started, but
It's locked, all right.
I'm going to start talking to people. Hello.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague. Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Oh. Let's see here. What do we... You're healthy. Let's see the details. Okay, so there's 3 hints. And you're a merchant. And I hope if I get to know you, you'll give me a deal. Oh, there's a... Okay, have we met before?
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Oh, yeah, she's... You know what? I wonder, like, is she going to be... Is she going to become a vampire? I'm going to see her later. That'd be cool. Or is she going to be kind of messed up like the skulls, though, when I have to put her down again? Anyway.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
Do most people fear dead flesh?
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
Ooh, I got a hint.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Milton Hooks helped you get a job here. So then
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Well, I didn't get the hint for that. Did I get a hint about personal questions? Yeah.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Oh, wait, really? Cool.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
You sure?
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Okay, so you believe in life after death?
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No, I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Dude, sounds like me. Same though, like on so many levels. So did I get another hint for anything? No? Alright, what do you got? Let's see.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Everything can be useful. What is this? Codeine. And opium. Alright. I need that though. Can I get that? I want the recipe. Making things. So I'm gonna heal people. Okay. Now what can I sell? Which one do I have? 30? Oh, I'm so far away from 70. Worry about it, but okay. So that's good to know. I gotta find my way to the oxygen second. But I gotta do some rounds. I gotta figure out the. Oh, hello. Wait, why are you shiny? Look. Well. As soon as possible. Something tells me that didn't happen. Nicola? I gotta find Milton Hooks. That's not cool. Bro, you can't charge other people. Like, who are you? Are you in charge of that stuff? You're not him, but I guess I should introduce myself. Who are you?
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
You like my work? Thanks, man. I got some hints. Looks like you have a little bit of a social circle. I didn't even remember to check out the last guy. I can just do it. I go check out. Oh, alright. Well, you seem pretty good. Nice and healthy. Nice and healthy. Cool, cool, cool. What do you got? Mesmerize? Oh, you need 4. I have 1. That's fine. I wasn't going to suck your blood anyway. I'm trying to play this. Be nice. Tell me about yourself.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
Forget about
I'm a
me.
great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed.
Yes, that's what I meant.
I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
Yeah, I'll help you.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you
Experiments in blood transfusion have not been
may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
Are you just sticking people with needles? Like, are you just...
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea, but But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
I mean,
You
it's
seem
gotta
quite
start somewhere,
optimistic.
right?
It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True, true. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Do you need my help with something?
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Citizen investigation is available. Ooh, press tab again. Okay. Citizen investigations are okay. You can start a new citizen quest by tracking it with the click. Okay. Cool. Reach the pharmacy, but who's that guy? I'll look for somebody that might look like that. Okay. How do I get here? D. That one. I click right here. Oh, these are just investigations? How was that? Oh, social circles beside it. Okay. Ah, he's here. Look at that. Yo, and you're here too, Mr. Hooks. Yeah, crook, you're down there. You're not even like the administrator. How do you what? I don't like that. It's not cool. You don't do that to the sick. Oh, yeah.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
You gotta remain neutral, though. You're a doctor.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Okay, my dude.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
What happened to him? That's it? You're not gonna... That has a lot of hints. It's a lot of personal questions.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Bye. Go away. There he is. I need that guy. Come here.
Come now, we can handle this.
Hello, sir.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed, yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
That's rude. You literally just met me. You healthy? Yep. What do I need to mesmerize you for? Okay, cool. Let's check you out detail-wise. Well, I seem to have met your people. I haven't even talked to this guy yet, but I know he's in your social circle. I've got a hint on each of you. Okay. Alright. Let's talk about your life in London. You have a problem with me, though?
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. but I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
What have you done? Have you done something?
Aren't you too old for such jealousy? It really won't do you any good, you know.
Don't be ridiculous, Dr. Reed. A simple glance is enough for me to know you have nothing for me to envy.
Are you sure about that?
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Wow.
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
I mean, why do you want it to lead to surgery?
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
Oh, I mean, if he's trying to run the procedures that, it's a conservative point of view. Assume the consequences. You know what? Let's kill him with kindness.
I really hope you're right about this, Dr. Ackroyd. I'm trusting your judgment on this.
I'm not the kind of man who runs away from his responsibilities, Dr. Reed. There is no need for you to be looking over my shoulder.
But is this rivalry blinding you?
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
I mean, are you sure? Your judgment on me was pretty childish at the beginning of this.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
That's not cool. I mean, I'm sure he wouldn't...
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd.
Yeah, I don't really want to agree on much else with him. He kind of, he's kind of a tool. I like him. Goodbye.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later. Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
There we go.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
That was weird.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Damn. You'll throw in that shade at each other, and you're working on the same people? Or same
Goodbye,
person?
Dr. Strickland.
That's childish. Hi, lady. Oh, I can talk to the patients.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
You sure? You sure?
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Describe how you feel.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
That might be a medical issue.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness
Pronounced
discovered by a
Cotard,
French
so I was like, oh,
neurologist
that's not
named
good.
Jules
That
Cotard.
sounds like a different word.
The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
A little bit. A little bit. Are you a patient here?
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
I mean... Wait, you have enemies?
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
You sure? I like you. You're... You are an interesting lady.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to...
I got a hint. Is it a personal question? Who are you really?
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
It was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
I just think you don't want to remember. I'm being honest with you. Okay, goodbye.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Bye, lady.
The pain. It's here again.
Who are you? Oh, you're unknown. Oh, sir, man, you doing okay there, my dude?
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
Damn. Yo, thanks. Thanks for the service, but I mean...
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Who's treating you?
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
That's depressing.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Let's ask some personal questions. Let's get to know you. Yeah,
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
How close are you to Miss Horcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
That's cool.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
I mean, she's not mentally right.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Wow. I think that's everything. Did that unlock?
How is your stay with her?
Oh, it's...
Can I do...
Nurses gave me a book.
Who is...
No,
you don't...
if...
I don't remember.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurse...
I don't remember if there was. Okay, so there's one. I have the second one. There's the third one. Okay, so yeah. All right. Well, thanks, man.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
I'm gonna check up on you. That's not cool if they're neglecting you.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Well, let's learn about your life in London. Who did you get attacked by?
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Really? You're asking if people are in despair? Have you looked around this hospital? Have you you've been talking to the people?
Who should I avoid in this
Depressing.
part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
Did you know something, though?
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
You know what I just noticed? So he's wearing a cross. But yet the first time I saw a cross, it impelled me and held me in place. But this one's not at all. Why? Anyway.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
Oh yeah, you met the vampire lady? She's cool.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the dockers' trade union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
The Wet Boot Boys?
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
That's good. If that's just your life. Okay, I got some personal questions for you. Here we go. How are you feeling?
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back to the people who need me.
That bed you're sitting on doesn't look like a very good place to rest, sir.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
See, these are the questions that I need to know. Like, well, if the cross would...
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Maybe it doesn't.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
That's very nice of you. Well, you made friends.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really. But I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
I mean, well, it's good that you know now that she's not dead. I didn't get
Goodbye,
any
Mr.
hints
Hampton.
from you, though, so...
We'll talk again later.
I guess we will. Oh, you're new. Okay. There's a lot of people here.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
the situation
How would
here
you
is
describe the
depressing as
situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
You sound... How many hits do I have on you? Oh, there's so many. Okay. Okay, get a grip.
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
That's not gonna happen. I'm from the future. I know these things. How long have you been working here?
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
Wow, you would be surprised.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
Who? There's more people? Oh, I still gotta find
How
the
is
dude
the
charging people
Pembroke
for
staff
beds.
coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Are we... Oh my god. Okay, why? Why is he
Why
upset?
is
People
Milton
not paying for the
grumpy
beds?
on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Are you sure? I mean, I'm about to ruin his day.
Why
when I
does
find him.
Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
That's fine. I'm sure I could find something to latch on to. It's just a bunch of hints. Alright, peace, I guess.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Alright, who are you?
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
What? You're the one that this dude wants to experiment on. You don't look like you're in a life or death situation. I don't really care about any of
Tell
this.
me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well,
Not.
it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable, and your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies.
Loses it halfway through the arm repair and noms everybody in the room because of the blood smell.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Yeah, you're not getting blood transfusion. I'm glad I told that dude just to... Okay, why do you feel...
Tell me about your injury, Harvey.
Aggressive.
Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
Wait, your wife died because of you? How?
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double.
She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
That's not your fault, my guy.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army. Building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
You know what?
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
I will not let you down, my boy.
That was depressing. I don't even know if I want to talk to you people. That one hurt. Alright, let's just get you over with. Come here.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
The dude just said his throat hurts. But about your life in London here, how painful is that when you talk?
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see.
Why?
Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
How painful.
So painful I'd rather...
I'll let you get some rest, then.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Okay, hold up, though.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick.
I'm okay.
I wasn't done. I wasn't done.
How painful.
So pain...
Okay, I guess I was done. Maybe you got some personal questions to answer for me. Just tell me about yourself, sure?
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk.
That's valid. You know what?
I have to go now.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
Hey, you're in here. Oh, you're standing up. Talk to me.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick.
Okay.
Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
I'm just not going to answer your question, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to ask about you.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer, and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Are you that rich?
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
Okay. Well, what are you doing in your life?
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Tell me about your arrival.
Tell me more about your
Why
arrival
he's
at the
always so
Pembroke
aggressive.
Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
Hold up, I just talked to her. She charged you?
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
I didn't realize she was in on this scandal. This is what I need to get to the bottom of. Okay, I don't think I have anything else to ask you. Okay.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Hello?
Good evening, nurse.
Oh, hello.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
That's fine. Tell me about your life here. What's the situation here is depressing.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
Stop staring at me.
An invisible enemy. Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
Stop. Why?
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Just tell me.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett's. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Aha. Now what if I say speak up?
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
His best. So it's a dude. I saw that in the subtitles. Okay, I don't think I got anything else for you.
Goodbye, nurse.
Bye.
Call me if you need assistance.
Okay, I gotta find the people that, hello, Milton. Hey, can I just quickly introduce you to... Oh, I actually...
Another night with the glorious battalion of Pembroke.
I have to be good, and I just want to put a blood spear through your torso.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
Huh? Excuse me? You're our ambulance driver. You smuggling weapons?
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
I don't like you already. You're the ambulance
So what do you
driver,
do
right?
exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital. That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Another investigation. Oh, was that the two that I saw that I just didn't want to fight?
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful.
I can
We
tell,
lack
it's quite
everything,
depressing.
and it's getting worse every day.
Alright.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Let me ask you some personal questions. But you extorting money?
Tell me why you're extorting money from some of the patients here.
If a patient wants a bed, he'll have to pay me a little fee. That's all.
Where did you get the idea for such an immoral scam?
Funny you should ask. The first time it was from a patient who bribed me to get a bed. It's only then I realized I could make a fortune.
That's it. We're not going to do anything about this.
I'd like to see your...
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable
gun. Yes, yes. What do you have? Built-in shotgun. I don't have enough for that. I barely have enough for... Oh, I have enough for these. I just found some grease and screws. Joke's on you. Haha, I already have them. Well, that was a lot more anticlimactic than I thought it would be. I thought I would reprimand, get angry, I don't know, something.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
Here again. I wish I could be sick again.
You're in here. I can't get in here. Okay. Some other time, maybe. I gotta go find you. You have some splainings.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Doc.
Skip the pleasantries. Personal questions. Oh, never mind. Your life in London. Huh? But I thought I knew a thing. Pippa saves bed for patients who can pay. Okay, is that something I can question you about? No? No? Okay. Your life in London?
How...
It's so...
Get a grip.
I wish I...
Okay.
How long?
Well,
You...
I'm not gonna...
How...
Well, not...
Why...
Milton's...
Why did...
Why did...
Okay, I mean, I guess...
Goodbye,
You're
Nurse
extorting money, and I'm not gonna do a thing. I guess, what, first day on the job? Got cold feet? Not want to talk about it? God. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Used a hacksaw. 65 damage? I think that's better than what I have. Yeah. Yes, please. Can I have that? Cool. Name tag. Alright.
This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
Analyze. What's this? Ooh. That's pretty neat. Oh yeah. I need quinine, terratin, and sodium.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now.
You do. You technically have all of the time. No, I want to increase my healing. That is what I'm going to use that for. Will be 100% just heals, all heals. Because I'm bad at combat. But if I'm bad at combat, I should... Which one of these... is... It's ultimate. How do I... Which one of these hits harder? With these. This is more healing, but how do I make myself hit harder? I want to hit like a Mack truck. This one should be easy. 300. God, it's plenty. 3-6. Perfect. We're just gonna up. We're gonna up everything. We're gonna be a little. Okay. Blood capacity. Perfect. It's better than just raising all three of the base stats, right? I look like I'm one experienced boy. Can I get anything that's under 300? And I do believe that will get me up the following night, saves the game.
If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
Answer the door. I guess I'm about to have a knock. Or is it this door? Can I open this door? No? Oh, I think she's talking to me. Okay, well, in that case, that was a long episode of just getting to know people. So, hopefully in the next one, we'll come back and actually maybe get into some gameplay. Although I am interested to see all the drama and things that can unfold. I'm actually enjoying the storylines quite a bit. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye. Love you.